Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store. And around the world on MikeO'Mara.show.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know how I enjoy the Us Weekly magazine.
It's your favorite thing.
Thanks for the subscription, by the way.
I know you also take the Look and Saturday Evening Post.
Listen, here's what I found in Us Weekly. A source says that Arnold Schwarzenegger, or actually Patrick Schwarzenegger, went unrecognized when he and his friends entered a nightclub and sat at a table, but things got a little heated after he accidentally bumped into a resident DJ's equipment several times.
Now, this is Arnold's son.
Right, Patrick,
right.
the son. Patrick actually the DJ told Patrick nicely a few times to please be careful because he kept bumping into it. According to Us Magazine sources.
Right.
I guess Patrick became annoyed, says the source, so he started throwing ice at him. At this point, one of the cocktail waitresses noted it was Patrick Schwarzenegger who alerted the team that he was underage.
As a rule, you shouldn't throw ice, especially if you're underage. That's as a rule.
Now, once outside the club, the 19-year-old tried to end his boisterous rant. That's the writing of Us Weekly.
I thought that sounded like pure Buzz Burbank.
Now, they tried to end his rant by climbing into a nearby SUV to escape the scene, but it was no good. In footage obtained by the site, it appears as though Schwarzenegger, Patrick, is denied by the driver, to which he reacts by waving his hand in the driver's face condescendingly.
Oh, dear. Well, I wonder if there's anyone who would comment on that.
If only we had a friend.
Hey!
Oh, look who's here.
Auf Wiedersehen.
How have you been?
Arnold.
Hey.
Bad day for you, and bad day for the fam.
Yeah, I'm doing a PR tour to make sure that people understand that Patrick's high-strung kid, and he gets in some scrapes and some altercations and things.
Curious about one thing. Yeah. Is Patrick the one that you got from boning the housekeeper?
Maybe.
You don't know?
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, because you love to bone.
It's still in litigation with Maria, so
I understand.
But the thing is, he's a good kid.
He's not.
His heart is in the right place. He's got the good head on his shoulders. He's a straight shooter.
But it's a lot like you when you were little.
Yeah,
hothead.
I was high-strung with my father. I used to sneak into his uniform closet, and I would march around the bedroom going, Heil Hitler.
That's funny,
scary.
though.
Well, if Patrick's such a good kid, what's up with the boisterous rants and the ice throwing?
You've been a kid, right?
Well, sure.
Have you ever been a kid?
Well,
you understand the kids?
Been a what?
Have you ever been a kid?
Oh, you mean kinder?
Have you been a kinder?
I have.
When you get above the kinder, you become a kid.
Right.
And so the kids act out, and they do things that are stupid.
Well,
and
true.
Everybody has as a young man.
Well, that's a good point.
As a young man, he's got to understand these things and things.
Governor.
Yeah.
So,
hi, Oscar. How are you?
Well, I'm great. Thank you for
asking.
asking.
China?
China's great.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
Ever been?
Nine.
Oh, good.
So,
of course, I was the governor of a major state. Of course, I've been in China.
When you hear these stories about your son, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's
for
also,
a parent, it's very, very difficult.
Sure.
But you also understand, because of your time working with kids in the kindergarten cop, that these things happen.
But Patrick, when he was younger, had a traumatic experience when the Hummer went out of business. Because Patrick thought that he was going to inherit all of my Hummers. And so when the factory went out of business and things, what happened was that the factories don't make the Hummers anymore.
Yeah,
right. No more
And he was going to inherit them. So he said, Dad, hey, Dad,
what did he say?
He said, hey, Dad,
sure.
What's with this? You're going to give me cars that are so crappy, they're obsolete. And he threw a big tantrum and things.
Yeah.
And
A
he went
severe
up into
sense of loss.
Yeah, he went up to his bedroom. He hasn't been the same since, but he's a kid. And I want to emphasize, hold on,
He'll grow
Do
out
you have a
of this.
statement?
he's a straight shooter.
You're going back to
He's got his head on straight.
He's hot.
And he's like lots of kids, and he's a good-looking guy. He's got the Schwarzenegger blood and the Kennedy blood coursing through his veins.
And the teeth.
And he's got the iron jaw, and he's a good. He wants to get into the bodybuilding as well as me.
What do you mean by straight shooter?
Straight shooter. We've gone out into the wilds of California, and we've taken out some of my guns.
Your what?
My guns.
Oh, do you like to hunt?
I like to target shoot.
Oh, I see. For accuracy.
Yes, we used to go when I was in the governor's race.
Gubernatorial.
I used to have posters of Gray Davis, and we would shoot them just for fun, for sport. And I would go,
right.
Patrick, aim for the balls.
The what?
The balls.
I have a question I'd like to ask you. Can I change the topic?
Sure.
I like the fact that he calls you Dad.
He does.
We call you Arnold.
Right.
But so many people have called you many things. I've compiled a list of some of your character names.
I had great character
From
names.
his movie?
From your movies, because when I look at you...
And I should point out that my career is not over.
No, and far from
Not
it.
by a chance. I'm still making movies.
Twins 2 in the works.
Twins 2 is going to be a blockbuster.
Really?
We're working with the scripts and things right
The
now
what?
to get the funny lines.
The scripts?
And it's going to be so... I think you're going to see Twins 2, and you're going to walk out of the theater, and you're going to say, I'm so angry that I can't see it right away again.
Yeah, because it's such a funny movie.
Because it's so funny. I've never laughed as much as I have at this movie.
When I look at you, you look very
Fit?
European.
Yeah.
And so I would think your names would lean something almost ethnic, Germanic maybe.
Well, I got together with
Teutonic.
I got together with the producers and
The what?
The producers
Wow.
and the agents and things.
Right.
That and I said, what we will do is give me American names.
Okay.
And you can have slightly German or Austrian names too, but I want mostly American names.
Like in
That's
the
why
2013 movie The Last Stand when you
Yes.
played Ray Owens.
Ray Owens was a great
See,
character.
that doesn't seem a likely name.
No, it doesn't seem like a good
But
name
that's
for
the
you.
thing. I realized to be popular with the American audiences, I don't want to have a name like, Heinrich von Himmler.
No,
No.
like what if you were in Collateral Damage? Do you remember your character name in
Oh,
that?
this was very American. Yeah, share that one.
Gordy Brewer.
Gordy Brewer was a tough guy, that made things happen.
Right.
Most of my characters make things happen. That's
Sure.
the way it's supposed to be.
Like in End of Days?
Yes.
When you were Jericho Kane?
That's a little hard to believe.
Jericho Kane. I wanted to have something a little. I said to my agents and things, I said, I want a little spicier. Can you make it a little spicier?
That was your
Yes.
WWE days.
I
were really into it.
That's WWE when I was really wrestling and things and doing all the crazy poses.
But there wasn't always action. There was
Nine.
also comedy.
Lots
yes.
of comedy.
Remember
Right,
the
yeah.
funny character in Jingle All the Way?
Oh, listen to this character's name.
Howard Langston.
Howard Langston.
Here
I'm
again.
crazy Howard Langston, and I want to get the Turbo Man for my kid.
Right.
In Sinbad, he's coming at me because he wants the same toy for his kid. Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna run-
so funny. You laugh your ass off.
I'm going to run 3 in a row for you. We're going to
Yeah,
do
right.
Junior, True Lies, and Last Action Hero. Are you ready for your names?
Lay him on me, please.
Alex Hess, Harry Tasker, Jack Slater.
Thank you very much, Jack Slater.
manly
Oh,
names.
wonderful.
I don't think I got the pings at the right time.
No, you
but
don't.
it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah,
You know who else would have messed up those pings?
Who's that?
John Kimball.
John Kimball.
Now that's a name. There's a
That's-
good name.
Lieutenant.
I wanted the name that I could say in a very hard whisper. I said, "Hello, my name is John Kimball.
Right.
I'm going to get you,
Do you think
John Kimball,
Detective John Kimball?
Detective John Kimball. You're under arrest."
Would you be able to say
That's
that?
the hardest word I have ever seen in the movies.
What's that?
Well, arrest.
Maybe you should say take them into custody.
Take that. Boy, why won't you the director?
I know.
That's
I
a
know.
great idea.
That's what I've told.
and that was your cue to stop. Thank you. Start the fucking show.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
You guys are running 120. Your little lights are flashing all over the place. That's what's up.
We got a patient in there.
Well, there's not a hospital within 50 miles of this place. Where are you headed?
UCLA Medical Center. L.A.
Now, this is going to sound like a dumb question, but if she's that sick, why didn't you fly her?
Why didn't we fly her? I'm just a driver. We have to ask the doc. No.
That's a good idea. Why don't we ask the doc?
What's going on out here? What is this crude interruption?
The patient, why can't she be flown to California?
Cysts on the walls of her lungs. Very rare. You see, airplanes are only pressurized at 10,000 feet. Now, anybody knows anything about medicine knows that she can't fly, she has to be driven. We couldn't even go through Denver, it's so high.
Is that lady all right?
She's in great pain. Cause her to make certain delirious tremendum.
Let me explain something to you. We have to get the senator's wife to California in 72 hours. We're very close.
Well, as long as you're in New Jersey, I want you fellas to take it easy. You got that?
We sure do.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic radio district of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
How you been?
Yeah. Anyway, we are live from Studio 1K in the Fiberplex Broadcast Center. Hi. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We're downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times. And powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM, WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Wednesday, May 8th. Our show is brought to you by a page that we always urge you to go to, and especially at Mother's Day, we'd like you to frequent our Amazon page because it's the greatest online shopping in the whole wide world. And if you go through MikeO'MaraShow.com, and better yet, if you bookmark it, we were supposed to have a little button about 6 months ago. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Anyway, where you'll find Mother's Day gift ideas and Mother's Day gift bargains, 30% off on Mother's Day gifts right now.
Hold it, Mike. I hate to interrupt the copy.
Certainly.
But when?
Now.
Thank you.
Everything from cameras to Kindles, from purses to perfumes, from jewelry to hobby items, even gift cards for when you just don't know what to get for Mother's Day and every day. My personal opinion really is gift cards online. I mean, you just really can't be any lazier.
No, especially for your mother.
Yeah, but
your
you know what?
Mother.
But they're going to be people that don't know what to get for mom.
They're stuck.
So they might as well. Yeah. Mother's Day every day. Mother's time every time. All the time. Amazon time at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Best read ever.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Today, right out of the chute, there are so many pressing issues. There are so many things that occupy our minds in this troubled world we live in. But something that has been on the news cycle for me personally for the last 4 days.
Right.
And I've been meaning to ask Oscar about this particular issue. Oscar Santana, can you possibly share with us why is McDonald's moving out of Bolivia? And you say this is an old story.
Well, no, it's not necessarily an old story, but the one beautiful thing about capitalism, when it thrives, it thrives.
Yes.
And McDonald's is a worldwide corporation that has succeeded in almost every country in the world.
Is this your prepared answer, Oscar?
No.
Because it really sounds like you're reading from a statement.
It sounds like he's almost being a diplomat. At the McDonald's Corporation, we value the people of Bolivia.
Well, I've been torn by this. As you know, I have a fond love for McDonald's.
Yes, and pineapple pie.
And I've actually been to McDonald's in Bolivia. So I will say, with that experience, 2 thumbs up.
Let me bring people up to speed with this.
Please.
After 14 years in the nation, and despite, this is my favorite part, and despite many campaigns.
Oh, really?
And promos.
Yeah.
McDonald's was forced to close in 2002 its 8 Bolivian restaurants in the major cities of La Paz, Cochabamba, and Santa Cruz.
2002.
I think it speaks to the speed of your home country that this story is now in 2013 on our radar.
Maybe they have Verizon.
This was a story from March of 2013, and they closed them in 2000.
Well, things move at their own pace. As you know, I'm always late to all of our events.
Yes, you are. You're a tardy man.
I'm generally late to the show.
Tardy man. Yes, you know it drives me nuts, I know you try, but it's still. You're still late.
Look at that news story. If anything, that's a defense of me. I've made strides. That's almost 12 years ago, and you're just getting the news now.
You might be familiar with the failure of McDonald's in Bolivia with the documentary titled "Porque."
I've watched the documentary.
Porque. It just sounds right. Porque quebró McDonald's in Bolivia.
What does that mean, Oscar?
Why did McDonald's in Bolivia go bankrupt?
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I had to say it myself.
The gist of it is...
he's back to his statement now.
No. It's actually sad that my home country, one of the reasons I'll never go back, and I bleed red, white, and blue.
Wow.
Is
statement.
Why would I go back?
Because you're in love with China, that's why.
No, ni hao, baby, but no. I'll say this, that country has become more socialist and more anti-American.
He's got it. I believe that's what some of the people are saying.
Really?
And it's that way now more than it has been in the history of the great nation.
So is it politics that's pushing
It's
McDonald's
politics.
out of the country?
It's
I mean,
politics.
what I want to know is, were they doing well? Were they popular among Bolivians?
They were popular at a certain point, especially when I was younger.
Right.
What about this theory?
Yeah.
Because it says this in the article. Quote, fast food I don't know who I'm quoting. Fast food represents the complete opposite of what Bolivians consider a meal should be.
Right.
To be a good meal, food has to be prepared with love, dedication, certain hygiene standards, and proper cook time.
I really
Does that
don't
make
think
sense?
you need to put the word certain
Well,
in front of hygiene
You got
standards.
Zamfir in there? When
I
we're having
do,
this
as a matter of
discussion,
fact,
we have
yes,
to have
that's
that.
right.
You've got fresh food at every corner in La Paz, in Cochabamba. Just because simply it's that type of culture. But I will say that the government is so anti-American at times that when people see McDonald's, it has a negative connotation to it. So they don't.
It's the very first Latin
don't go
American
to it.
country that's going to be without McDonald's.
Yes. So as far as freshness, I mean, they make sure. If anything, I would say the food at McDonald's may be fresher than some of the food that's vending in the streets.
But it sounds like fast food proved to be too fast for.
There
for
are other
Bolivia.
fast food places there that are thriving.
Like what?
That are not. I mean, I couldn't tell you, but they're just nationalized.
Do they have La Paz fried chicken?
No, but they have
Taco Bell.
No, they have Bolivian fast food establishments.
Rumi Lopez writes.
Who?
Rumi.
Does he have a lot of space in his house?
Rumi Lopez writes.
Square footage. So many.
I have lived in Bolivia. I have family there. I still visit once a year. As far as I'm concerned, McDonald's has never actually opened a store in
Cochabamba.
Cochabamba.
Yes.
Bolivians love fast food. Every major city has the street side kiosks where clubgoers can flock after a night of dancing and debauchery. Hey, this is your country.
yeah.
isn't it? At least one of those kiosks sell hamburgers. Other than that, Bolivians find their local fast food much more appealing, such as the Trancapecho.
That might be one of the places.
Do you know what Trancapecho
Well,
is?
when I was there, I was too young to get hammered and go to Trancapecho at 2 a.m.
Silpancho.
Oh, you know what? I saw that in episodes of Girls Gone Wild Bolivia.
Wow.
Pique Macho.
No.
You don't know that one?
I don't know that one.
And so on.
Now, Oscar, when you ate at McDonald's and you went and got
As a little kid?
hamburgueso con queso,
might have been 14.
was the menu the same?
The menu was actually pretty much the same. The most foreign McDonald's menu I've ever been to was in Beijing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's the one where you tried it, but it tasted funny, right?
Tasted like pollution.
Do you? It tasted.
I'll have a
that's so
pollution
gross.
sundae.
So, like, there's a chemical taste
It just
to it?
tasted different.
Even
the
the
ketchup
pineapple
even
pie?
tasted different.
Really?
The weird thing in Beijing, Mike, on the menu they have the unhappy meal.
The unhappy
Comes in a
commie meal.
gray box.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Thank you for the
There's
commie
no
meal.
toy.
This guy writes a nice little note here. He says, however, what may be the largest reason as to why McDonald's has never caught on is the fact that Bolivians no longer look up to the United States.
There you are.
And dwindling desire to mirror the culture for almost a century of widely looking up to Estados Unidos, in which the event peaked in the 80s when Bolivia's largely unstable government history finally reached a democratic stability, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I guess so they don't like us as much anymore.
Yeah, it's
Do you find that when you go back? I mean, when's the last time you went back?
15 years ago.
Oh, so it's been a while since
Well, I
you've
won't
never
go
gone back as an
If
adult.
they don't love America, I don't love them.
So that's it for you.
You know,
Unless I'm around my uncles and aunts and I lie to them.
having traveled to the old sod, my old stomping grounds, where my ancestors are from, going to Ireland.
Old Town
Oh, I
Manassas?
thought you meant Connecticut.
I've been to Ireland, about 5 times? Probably 5 times.
Oh
in
my
all.
God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been over to Ireland 5 times. Back when you
Must be nice.
Oh, it was nice. It was nice. It's
he
not
really
nice.
only wanted to go 4 times, but he
You know,
left some stuff.
And here we go.
back
And
and
I'm
forth.
going to make a request, especially of you two, okay? You two little humps right there. You know that little comment, that little throwaway that you think I'm not paying attention to? Must be nice. You know, I'd like to point out to you asses, I don't have it anymore. I don't have the
Mike,
money
but
anymore.
that's why we pointed it out.
I'd like to point it out.
What?
I didn't say it.
Thank you.
It was what's his name?
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
Don't have it anymore.
what's a better story? A guy that everything goes great for and everything goes well and nothing ever happens to him, or the guy that's trying to work his way back up?
I think the struggle, the American
That's
struggle.
right.
That's
you.
what it's all
We
about.
root
The
for the
American
underdog.
struggle. So,
Horatio Alger O'Mara.
I went over there, and I went over there with 2 different administrations. And when I went back, we weren't popular anymore.
Administrations, you mean the government in
Yeah,
Ireland?
well,
Ours
yeah,
or theirs?
Oh, I thought you lost your affiliate.
Like Bill Clinton
Oh, okay,
is
ours.
Bill Clinton. I never had an Irish affiliate. Man, that would have been great.
Well, good morning. What a beautiful day with the sun coming up over the River Shannon. So anyway, and Shannon, there you go. It all ties together.
Nice.
Thank you. Well, good morning. Top of the morning to you. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We'd like to welcome our Limerick affiliate. This is W. Shamrock in Limerick City, home of Frank McCourt and Angela's Ashes. But all the sewage ran wild in the cold, damp city of Limerick. People struggling, cutting each other with sharp razors, drinking bad booze until their livers fell out of their rear ends.
Traffic and weather?
Traffic and weather on the 8th.
And it's Lucky 107. Wasn't the name of the station?
Welcome to Lucky 107. My name is your host. I'm Seamus O'Mara, and we've got the weather. Today's weather, well, it was just like yesterday's weather and the day before that.
Damp.
It's damp and cloudy and rainy and about 48 stone.
Nice.
Even though that's not even a measurement for the weather.
That you're giving weather by weight.
It just sounded like that. Now, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to give you a free trip to Belfast.
Top of the hour.
That's right.
Top of the hour.
A free bus trip at the top of the hour to take a bus up to where the troubles are. That's right, to see all the bombed out buildings and have a fantastic time. Now, back to the Seamus O'Mara Show in Limerick's own Lucky 107. Welcome to Lucky 107.
From Glen to Glen.
I hope you're having a great morning. Yes. Traffic is sponsored by Jameson's, distilled just the way it's always been distilled. For hundreds of years, the best and finest Irish whiskey money can buy. Now, I hope you're enjoying your scone this morning.
Oh, it's delicious.
With your cup of tea, and I hope you have a good time with the Seamus in the morning show.
That's my favorite show. It's better than a pot of gold.
That's right. It's time for our entertainment update on Seamus in the morning on Lucky 107. Let's bring in our entertainment remark, Perez O'Hilton. Perez, what's the big story? Is Lindsay Lohan actually going to rehab again?
She's been drinking, but not enough.
That's fantastic.
The problem is she needs to drink more.
If she was over here, that poor little lass wouldn't be persecuted like she's been persecuted by the Americans.
Do you know why they hate her? The freckles.
That's what it is.
They hate the freckles.
They don't like her cute little connected at freckles, and that's why she's being persecuted. So, from Seamus to you, Lindsay, I say, from all the crew at Lucky 107, you go out and get poi oil. You drink and smoke and do whatever narcotics you care to do. Because here at Lucky 107, we're a big fan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news at the top of the hour. Let's go to Buzzy Burbank. That's it. Detail is on the half hour. Thank you very much. Anyway, where the hell was I? I don't know what happened.
That's brilliant.
No, when I went over there,
going to Ireland under different administration.
There just was an attitude. There was more of an attitude. And what I love, I'm with Oscar. I like going someplace where we're revered. We're not nearly revered like we used to be revered.
No.
And you go over there and you can see, I noticed at first in certain Caribbean countries that we're not as popular, and because we're asses a lot of times.
Do you remember the outward sort of bad attitude we got in Iceland?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they pretended.
Mocking.
They pretended to like us because we were clients.
But do you know
that's
why?
Changed
this
over
is
time.
great. This is great. And we're never going to get them as a client, so I can go back on the... But the bottom line was... The way that they marketed these trips to Iceland were for guys wanting to go over and get laid.
Yeah, boning trips.
It was, and they by the time we went over there, they considered this such a joke. Oh, you're an American, huh? Yeah, we know what you're here for. Yeah. And the women are beautiful over there.
Yes, they are.
But it really was, this ridiculous attitude that any douche could go over there, get off the plane, and like within 24 hours, be having a supermodel Icelandic chick in his bed, and it didn't work out that way. As a matter of fact, they resented it, both the men and the women, the young people in particular.
I didn't get that impression at all. I felt pretty welcome in Iceland at the time. I know that the relations have chilled a little bit since then, but I talked to a number of people in Iceland, and what I universally heard from them were the tourists that they hate the most in Iceland were the Germans, because they said they were so cheap, didn't spend any money.
There may have been
it?
one trip. This might have been one trip where perhaps our paths did not go in the same direction.
That may be.
Mr. Burbank,
we hung on one of them. Though.
We did, but I mean, did you stay out with me until the wee hours?
Yes, I remember we went to
when we came out at daylight,
a strip club with Russian strippers, and when we came out at like 2 a.m., the sun was already up.
Yeah,
again.
there was only 25 minutes of
so
darkness.
you were there, but I mean, you didn't get the.
I absolutely did.
I spent time on the street chatting with people that were there, not our handlers that were there, and
like man on the street interviews.
No, they were just. This was like when the sun came up out there, and
but you were hammered.
But they were too.
Oh, okay.
So
they're telling me the truth.
What you got
True
from
serum,
them was, it's like, oh, Americans. I said,
I hate you.
And
thanks for the drinks.
And my questions were, do you really think that that all Americans are over here to do? They said, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we think you're over here for.
I'll tell you.
When an airline
and everybody hates the German tourists.
And when an airline does a huge national radio buy, this is an airline, and one of their sentences is, and the women are beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they might as well be like handing out pamphlets like Dennis
creepy.
It is.
At that point, I was just starting to intern at a rock station. And a rock station skews younger. And all they would do is talk about the women, and it was in the copy to talk about the women.
And the truth is that the people over there, they're interesting looking. In a Hobbit kind of way.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
they're small?
They weren't small, but there were, as I think for every like Icelandic beauty that they promoted, there was an Icelandic Hobbit book.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
And all of the guys, all of the men of Iceland tend to look like Hugh Grant's roommate in Notting Hill. And that's what they all look like.
But I love the country, and
we saw amazing things.
But we were over there. Make no mistake, we were going over there because we were curious too. We wanted to see what it was like to go out into the clubs. And the first night we were there, our big night out, we sat at a table with like 8 guys, chefs and tourist ministers and all these stuff. And it's like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and we're sitting there. Oh my God! Do you remember that?
Yeah,
are we ever going to?
It was a really long dinner.
Are we ever going to get? Buzz, to be honest, you get so torqued up on these trips, you don't even know where you are. But I mean, the fact is, we were sitting there. Do you remember we all wanted to leave?
Yeah.
And they had the table full of people, and it's like, okay, this is quite the sausage party.
No one was the first to leave. Also, I do remember that even though our hotel was beautiful, it was the ugliest town
it was.
I have ever seen. Like, there was a church, and the church was plain, even like by Manassas standards.
It was a little grim.
And that's what they sold postcards of.
But the only thing that I truly enjoyed, and I loved it, was that tourist trap, the Blue Lagoon.
Macy, that's the one thing I didn't do with you guys.
Oh, it was fantastic. Buzz and I did that.
I would see pictures of you guys in the actual the hot springs.
Wasn't it fantastic?
Yeah, what are they exactly?
It was. I could have spent 9 hours in there. It is a legitimate hot spring. The whole island, or the whole country, is powered by thermal power. It's underground thermal water, superheated water. They don't pay for electricity over there.
Nobody has water heaters because the water comes out of the ground hot.
That's amazing.
It was so, and this is a hot spring that's there with minerals in the water, and it's just, it was a great place to hang out, and it's cold over there most of the time.
Right.
And so we had a fantastic time in Iceland, and when you land at the airport in Iceland, it is seriously like you're landing on the surface of the moon.
Well,
yeah,
you didn't do the fjord tour.
A lot of lava rock. I mean, the island is made of lava rock, and I loved one of my great experiences there were riding Icelandic horses, a breed of their own.
I remember that.
Shirtless?
With a gate,
they're
of
little.
course.
They're little hobbit horses.
They're short and stocky, and they have a gait that's different than any other horse in the world that allows
You
them
can call them
to,
short and stocky.
to walk smoothly over the lava rock.
I'll call them hobbit horses.
Yeah, they are hobbit horses.
It's like, well, it's nice to have you here. Now we're going to go to Middle Earth right now. We're going to go to
and
Middle
you guys,
Earth with
you didn't do the fjord tour.
No. Fortunately, the fjord tour was scheduled
didn't that come the day
the
after
morning
the
after the night before?
Yeah.
Right. I
The
didn't
fjord tour really did look like the moon.
There's
that
the hobbit horse.
On the
Yes.
moon.
Oh.
There's one of the
Looks
hobbit
like a
horses.
pony.
Buzz enjoyed it because Buzz is smaller than I am.
Yes.
I got on the thing and I looked like Mongo going to town. Swear to God. But anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, more of the Mike O'Mara Show, including a wonderful night of phone conversations with our tremendous listeners.
I can't wait.
We'll take a break. Tell you about that when we come back.
Just shoot for the stars if it feels right and aim for more.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I've been eating them all weekend, and Finally, Carla made me stop. I'm talking about Sheri's berries.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Horses, I thought.
Well, I really do believe one of the greatest Mother's Day gifts you can give anyone are Sheri's berries. And look, they've made them better. I know this is God who makes the Sheri's berries. You know, I know the strawberries come from nature.
But Sheri improves them.
I don't know what Sheri's doing to them, but I'll tell you, they are the most delicious. They're not only huge. I've always found that the big ones normally don't have the same kind of flavor as little ones.
These do.
Used to be.
Sheri's has these fantastic berries, and you can, make up all that horrible behavior to your mother by buying her some Sheri's berries.
Mike always used to eat the Hobbit berries.
They start at just $19.99. That's 40% off. Go right now to berries.com, click on the microphone, and type in TMOS, and you can doppel the berries, as Rob likes to say.
That's called double berries.
For $10 more,
What?
and they are delicious. That's berries, BERRIES, berries.com. And you can also use our code TMOS at 866-FRUIT02 for Sheri's berries.
You know what you didn't mention is it comes beautifully packaged, too.
It does?
You look like a big shot when you send these things.
And because when Sheri's Berries started advertising on the Mike O'Mara show, we got our very first sample of Freebie. Do you remember that first time they came in here?
It's like heaven.
The only sound you heard in the studio for like a half an hour was... They're fantastic.
Yes.
Big as your fist.
Last night, I want to first of all say to all of our listeners that you guys are the best, and you make my job easy, and we have a wonderful quest with Helping Haitian Angels to get a $12,000 house built for the people. Now, we have raised, as of last night and as of this morning, over $9,000.
Nice work, guys. Thank you.
We are roughly a little over $2,000 away. This is the last kick. I am maintaining what I said yesterday. I have one person who donated yesterday that was too late by the time I got the confirmation email. I did not want to disturb him. He's local, and I didn't want to call somebody after 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
But I will tell you, it was Mark Ronner.
Yeah, that's nice of you, Mark.
I am maintaining what I said before. You make a donation to HHA to build a house for the kids, the orphanage down in Haiti. If you make that donation, you will get a personal call from me. I stand by it, and people will back me up on it.
Hello?
I talked to Spokane, Washington. I talked to San Diego, California, Gorham, Maine.
What time did
Wichita,
you start calling?
Kansas.
What time did you start calling?
I did it yesterday, anywhere from probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon all the way through 9:30 at night.
I knew
thirsty?
I knew what you were up to because there's so many responses.
Hold on a sec. You think because I'm doing that because I'm loaded?
No, I don't say because you're loaded.
No, I did it, and I had to, alcohol did not touch my lips last evening, Mr. Man.
That's all.
Dick.
Big win.
Such a hump.
Big win.
Both of you. It's like my trouble corner right
really
over
all
there.
of us.
I was just saying if
all you do is just get things wrong all the time, but they're trouble.
That's my job.
They're trouble all the time.
If I had committed to doing this, and I was so pleased when I saw the Facebook messages popping up that people were getting the calls, I thought Mike's probably had a drink.
No,
because it would make it not be. That's not the reason you're doing it. I just think it would make it easier to do.
How
you doing?
Midway through the afternoon, Debbie Harvey from HHA sent me an email and said, what did you say? And I said that I would call people. I said, if you can take a note and handwrite a note to all these people, I can certainly pick up the phone and call. And so I started doing it. The problem was, the first time she sent me all the donations, they were sent in attachment form.
Sure.
And they were horizontal.
Individual.
And they were horizontal, and I had to click one each time, and then I would get lost.
Right. I've done that.
And I used Hank Reuter as a reference point just to make sure
I
I
always
knew.
do.
He's a landmark.
And didn't get Hank live, got Hank's answering
Did
machine.
you leave a voicemail for me?
I did not leave. No, I didn't
He
leave
donated,
it.
you know.
Did you leave your number?
You have my number.
But if it's not on the...
You're going to have
I
to
didn't
get
leave
him
my number.
your number.
let me see. There were personal people. There are people I knew.
Who's that Oscar Zabalas guy?
Got a chance
That
to
guy
chat
sucks.
with Jim Villani with the Manassas Symphony.
Great guy.
Had a personal conversation with him about that.
He said, "Hey, thank you so much for the call. This is so nice."
Spokane, Washington, representing last night.
Cool. Yeah.
Spokane, Washington, a major turnout. Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
We have donations from Los
You
Angeles,
love LA.
California. Finally got my first Reno. Hey, Reno. You need to step up. Only one call to Reno last night.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
How is Dennis?
Dennis off. So it stands today that because I want to get this wrapped up. I want to finish it this week. I want to get to the $12,000. Is the house stick up there?
I just
did
looked.
the web lady who has to paint a stick, was she able to paint
by
another
hand?
stick?
Not yet, Mike, but I will
Jesus.
stay on top of
Who is
them.
the lady doing this?
It's-
As much as I'm happy with HHA, who is their web person? And you too. It's your fault too. Yeah, all I want.
It's Mark's fault?
Because he's my go-between of putting the house.
but
there.
he can't-
Whoa! I'm going to stop you right
Okay.
there before you start contradicting me because I'm dead right on this.
Okay,
we
talk
are
to me.
building a house for HHA.
Right.
So when people donate, each donation, each increment of $3,000 is a straight line. It is a stick figure house. There is nothing that's required graphically of this. And what I want to do is when we have 3 walls of the house completed. The house is almost done. All we need is the last wall, and just put it up there. We sat there with nothing for the first $6,000
I
in
don't
donations.
disagree with you 100%.
Yes.
As a donor,
Right.
I would like to see that wall go up.
Right, and I mean,
What I do disagree with you is with it being Mark's responsibility.
It is Mark's responsibility because Mark is the liaison between me and Debbie and everybody. Somebody's got to be a middleman, just like he's a middleman with all the people with the ride for the Warriors that we're doing
I understand
as well.
that, but because I'm passionate about this charity as
Yes.
well. I don't post many things on my page,
Right.
but I posted about this, and this is what I'll continue to post about this.
Okay.
I think it's a great charity.
It is, and I think we're right at the finish line for
We're
HHA.
at the finish
and I will
line.
call everybody personally that makes a donation. I started that yesterday. You make a donation today, you'll get a personal call from me.
All right.
I will call you personally. I promise you that.
I think that the listeners should know because everybody, especially when you're a small organization, now there's no excuse for not having that full house up and the walls up.
Yeah.
But when you're a small organization, what you should know is that regardless of that wall going up or not, that the $5, the $10, the
Right.
$2 that you
Every bit.
represented,
Every penny.
we could get there sooner than later, and we could do it with your help.
We can, and you know what? I would be just as happy, and I mean this sincerely. I'd be just as happy making double the phone calls for smaller donations as I would be with major donations that came in. And we had many, many $100 donations yesterday, which blew me out of the water. I was delighted with that. My point to Mark, and Mark knows what I'm talking about because we've been dealing with this. How long is this war over this one element of getting a little stick figure house painted on a website?
Yeah, since right after the first weekend that we announced this.
Where we went to the website and he said, help us build the house. Each 3,000 donation will put a wall of the house up. And I go to the donation and there's a lovely field of grass with nothing there.
Tough.
And my feeling is
frustrating.
people that get into that kind of thing, the reason you do that, the reason you put a thermometer up or the reason you put a visual aid up is so you can see what it looks like and check it out, and that's why it's really important. And there seems to be this massive disconnect.
I called when I donated. I called and I said, "Hey, we have gotten a wall yet?" Because I'm really excited about this. Now I haven't been to Haiti, but just from your own experiences and talking to our friends, I really believe in this.
Yes.
So I agree with you once again. I think because that is not happening, and it hasn't happened in 6 weeks.
Right.
I think that our message should be, if you're out there, we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, we're going to let you know on this show.
Sure.
You're
Yes,
going to know if we get to the $12,000, and
the fact that you're calling blows my mind.
it's fun.
That's really
Will you
good.
entertain questions about
Absolutely.
the calls without citing anyone in particular? Were any calls?
They were all pleasant.
None went badly.
Rob, why would you ask?
I'm
that?
just curious.
The only
because
thing
if I got a call from Mike O'Mara, if I put myself in the listener's shoes, and Mike yesterday promised that he would call
Jerry, it's like Jerry calling.
and if I got a call from someone, I wouldn't believe it was Mike. I would think that there would be
Did
at least
anybody
one
not
person.
believe you?
There were no negative experiences. There were the people that catch up on this show,
Right.
And there were the people that didn't know that I had made that offer yesterday.
okay.
I assumed because Carla did call me on being like Slicky Boy at one point.
Oh,
Like,
what'd
Well, you
no,
get it
just
to a
where I was
dozen
just-
in, you're sure you have a rap.
Sometimes, you go, hey, thanks so much for helping HHA. Appreciate it. Bye-bye now. And I hung up the phone and Carla said something like, bye-bye. And she's standing over in the kitchen. She goes,
no.
bye-bye now. I'm like, I'm just trying to get through
After
these,
you
Carla.
get a dozen calls in,
Yes.
did you start to get to a rhythm where you found out things that you said that worked and things that didn't work, so you got better at it as the day went?
It just the people that didn't expect the call at all,
Right.
Because they hadn't heard the show yet.
Yeah.
The people that were like that were completely taken aback. It's like, who?
Exactly.
I said, I said it's Mike O'Mara.
Whoa, wow, man!
I would have S'd myself. That is awesome.
They said, hey, well, thanks a lot. I haven't listened to today's show yet.
Right.
And incidentally, here's just a personal note. Catch up on our show.
Yeah, please.
Listen to all of them.
We do one every day. Please listen.
And then I talked to a lady, I believe it was down in Hollywood, Florida, and we had a really, really neat conversation because she was originally from Manassas and moved to Florida. And she was just talking to me about everything else. There's so many people that expressed a desire to go down there and travel down there.
Sure.
And so it was fun. And this is the time of year, I should point out, that a lot of stuff goes on. It's I would say May is the month of raising money for good causes.
Sure.
A lot of people do different benefits. And we've got our ride for the Warriors that's coming up, and I'm selfish in this regard where I want to button this HHA thing up hopefully this week so we can move on to the next great cause.
Like, good work is good work, but enough is enough.
Well, the road for I haven't even talked about the other event, and I'll use this last minute here to do that. Actually, we don't have a minute, do we?
We have 30.
We have 30 seconds. When we come back, I will tell you all about the Ride for the Warriors, which is really a unique charity, the way they're taking their money and doing it. But I'll call you personally, not if you come to the ride.
No.
If you come to the ride, I'm just going to hang out with
The
you.
fact that you're calling is huge, though.
Yeah, but just remember, HHA, Helping
Very cool
Haitian
of you.
Angels, make a donation, you get a call from me.
That's really
that
awesome.
easy. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Not afraid to die. Let the old world make believe it's blind and that's bad.
What is this?
Max Frost and the Troopers, Shapes of Things to Come, man.
What year?
Max Frost and the Troopers?
Like 1967, I think?
Who made this song a hit? I mean, this is the obscure version.
No, this is the hit.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard this one before.
You see, when you have to ask that, it's not really a hit.
Yeah.
I like to open the skies for people to hear new music.
What well-known group did this song?
I noticed it. It's an interesting song.
It was actually, I think this is the Shapes of Things was also done by the Yardbirds, but that's a different song. I'll look into it.
It's almost like Jim Morrison was put in a blender with Peter, Paul, and Mary and pooped out into a shake you can eat. This segment of the program is brought to you by ProFlowers.com. ProFlowers.com. Sibling rivalry doesn't end just because you all moved out of the house. Your brother sends a card. Your sister remembers to call. This is your chance to one-up them just like Oscar did by sending Mom flowers from ProFlowers.com.
That's right.
A dozen rainbow roses and free glass vase, just $19.99.
Glass what?
Vase.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, some regions of the country refer to it as a vase.
That's right.
For just $29.98, you can doppel the roses, add chocolates, and still get the free glass vase. Just use the code TMOS when you order. ProFlowers are guaranteed to last a week. Go to ProFlowers.com right now. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in TMOS. Order now. ProFlowers. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right, so it was an interesting evening. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody I got a chance to talk to.
It's amazing.
It really was fun. And then I woke up and it was Wednesday morning and it was Verizon and Fios and the world of total suck.
Really?
Oh, no.
It's just, look, Verizon, this goes for all of them. You've
had highs and lows.
DirecTV, well, no, I've had more lows with Verizon Fios than I have had with Comcast. There it is. I'm saying it. I'm not getting compensated to tell you this. I had Comcast for like 72 years, and I had one day where it was out. Seriously. With Verizon Fios, I'm on my second modem. I am on my sixth conversation with service people, and my total time today to get a problem fix that took a minute and a half was 58 minutes.
Yeah, we watched it happen.
A lot of waiting.
Just a little, really. When you say, first of all, you call that service number and they say, your estimated wait time will be over 10 minutes.
Right.
I assume, you see, my misconception is that it's going to be 10 minutes. No. It's going to be over 10 minutes.
Did they take a moment and tell you that they appreciate your business? Because that, to me, makes all the difference, except it doesn't.
When I've waited, and I got on the phone with these people after 42 minutes.
Okay.
I waited for 42 minutes, and I got on the phone with them. And at that point, I don't give a rat's ass whether they want my business or like me or whatever.
When I got here, you're normally in the kitchen.
Yes.
And you weren't. And I heard you coming down the steps, but before I heard your heavy footsteps, what I heard was speakerphone version of Muzak.
Did you know there was a problem?
Because I said, oh, Christ.
So we did the same thing.
Here we go.
We did the same dance yesterday. Yes. Now, here's the good part. The good part is we installed this lightning fast internet so that we could upload our show quicker and
we could broadcast at a higher fidelity.
We could broadcast at a higher fidelity. When we need things on the internet here, it would be lightning fast. It would be great.
We can work an entire week in only 6 days now. What?
This is
you never have any problems, do you? You don't have any problems with your internet, do you?
I do all the time.
He's lying.
Good answer.
No,
He's lying.
no. This is the guy who. Okay, so for example, this is the highest. This is the highest speeds I've ever seen when it's working.
When it's working, there's nothing better.
So best you can get.
The ABC's a Rob or this. I look at Rob and I know that he does a show for KCJJ.
Right.
And I know that he does.
Then that's shocking that he knows
He
that.
does different work for I don't know if he's doing audio, he's moving files, whatever he's doing. So I said, if you had this type of speed, you could probably speed up your upload process. And he said, yeah, but I don't want to lose my DirecTV email. And
It's
I
not
said,
DirecTV,
Oh, what
man.
is
It's Comcast.
Your Comcast.
Okay,
I don't want to
right.
lose my Comcast email. And I said, so you don't care about the speed of this internet compared to what you have at home because of your email. That's what's important to him because he's had the same email.
My speed
forever.
is fine.
To a certain extent, wouldn't it fall into the category of if it's not broke, don't fix it?
True.
I'm happy with my speed.
Right.
It's fine.
If it works okay.
Now, I'm
Price is good.
right on the fence with that because when I joke about that, and I'm not joking, when I say I've had the old, the old one for a while, and we'll go with Company A was with me for a while.
I love when you do letters.
But Company B offers like lightning fast speed. I'm really torn, but I'll usually go with something better and newer just to
And
give
also,
it a try.
just to speak to what Oscar said, I saw how well it went yesterday.
It went well. I got a text from Mike. He was giving me 2 thumbs up and high fiving.
Yeah,
when I
it was working.
When I got it fixed.
Yes.
But that was after we had a 2-hour, 3-hour delay of getting it all up and running. So we finally fixed it. I said, here, it was a standard. Here are the speeds.
Right.
Speeds are very good. Woke up this morning and
Slow again.
My one point to all of these companies, if you were to take 1/3 out of your advertising budget and pay a couple more human beings to man the phones, you probably would, give your customers what they really want, which is just convenience stores. The idea of the internet as a tool for customer service, to me, ought to be just blown to hell.
How did you feel?
Work.
And I heard it yesterday and I heard it this morning. How do you feel when you cannot access wireless internet in your home and they say, have you tried to optimize using our app?
It's ridiculous.
Well, no, because we can't get online to use the app.
It's insane.
But I heard it twice.
It's insane.
Well, and part of the problem is the way they parcel out the broadband. They've developed a class system for broadband, and you can get the cheap, slow, or it's to allow, I guess, people on a budget to get it more cheaply.
Right.
But the problem is it's discriminatory in that some people get better internet than others. We should all have the same internet.
Have you heard of Google?
Totally agree with that.
Have you heard
Buzz.
of Google Fiber?
I have not heard of Google Fiber.
I have really never been more regular than this is the most delicious cereal.
So it's only
an oat brand based
great
only in three cities around the country. But Google is offering just internet, and they're doing
I'm Mike O'Mara for Google Fiber.
They're doing it for $70,
right?
And they're giving you 100 times the speed of your max speed right now.
Really?
Yes.
Jesus, I think I'd get vertigo.
But have they laid the cable and all
Well,
that?
what they've done is they found
they don't.
They have found cities that are working with them, giving them tax breaks to bring this to the. But think about 100 times the speed of what we're dealing with now,
like other countries have.
Yeah,
and we don't have here
Buzz,
in the U.S.
What Buzz said before about the fact that they parcel it out. When he says parcel it out for those of you that don't get it, they charge you more if you want it faster.
Right.
So there's a class system with cable. If you want the cheap stuff, you're gonna and they use it as a pure profit
an effing toll.
And what is the service?
It's bull whatever
it is. And what about there are certain services? I think mostly data plans for phones that as you get closer to your monthly limit of data, they throttle you back, even within the month.
I know,
it's horrible.
With all that said, because we have this business paying for it, we really wanted top of the line because Oscar and Mark and everybody that works on getting our show uploaded and downloaded and side-loaded
the
and everything.
broadcast
We need it to
itself
be fast.
Needs fast internet.
We need fast internet for the streaming people that are going to watch us, and we need it. So my feeling is that when I've got an issue that really at the end of the day was simply making sure I was locked on a particular channel, and I'm not talking about a TV channel, I'm talking about an internet channel.
Right.
It took me, I got off the phone in 58 minutes. Unacceptable.
It's a little
I
bit
waited online I waited seriously on hold for 42 minutes, and it's silly.
It's
There's
what's
no need
called,
for that.
Mike, a Holstein ratio. It is like
That's dead. No, don't throw him
being in
under
a
the
bar for 12 hours
They're
to
making
do
a
20
TV
minutes
show.
of work. No, but seriously, that's what happened. Is you spent an
How dare
hour
you.
of time to do a minute of work.
Really ridiculous.
Yeah, and it was simple.
And another thing, this is just to our friends at Verizon Fios, okay? I understand after hearing it in 2 days, not less than 70 times, I understand you don't guarantee wireless speed.
None of them
I
guarantee it.
understand. Okay, but stop it.
And they
okay?
ask you to accept that.
It's BS because I know why they do it, because somebody's got a computer that doesn't necessarily
fluky, yeah.
work that well. They can't guarantee
router
it.
speed.
But the fact is, once you've gotten it, okay, you know what you've gotten. And I heard that so many times to the point where that's probably them calling now.
See
I
if you're
heard that so
satisfied.
many times, and I said to myself, enough of that.
So
it's ridiculous.
I had a similar problem. I've never even mentioned it to anybody. Where when I left cable, the channels, but I still needed internet because I still had to do work for
when
work.
you went off the grid, Mike.
I kept my internet, and I called and I said, "Look, I want your fastest internet. Give me what your fastest internet is." And I went this whole thing because they don't want you to cancel. They don't want you.
Right.
And this is Comcast I was dealing with, and it just I fought, and I said, "I still want your internet." And she's like, "Okay, you've got the internet," and because I'm using the internet in a building, I know it's always shared. It's always going to be kind of coagulated. I'm sharing.
You're
the
sharing.
signal.
Always
So
sharing.
I'm always sharing.
Yeah.
we had that at CBS for years, where we were in this big building with everybody using it, and
Watching
that was their
porn.
excuse.
So sometimes
that was Travis.
it would be fast, and sometimes it'd be slow, and I lived with it. And then I noticed it was very slow, super slow. I said, "This is just not right." And I finally did the speed test like everyone does.
Right.
And I called them. I said, "Look, I'm supposedly paying $7 a month for X speed, and I'm getting this." And she gets on the line. She says, "Sir, you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, nobody ever flipped the switch to give you that speed."
Right.
So, and I said, "Well, how have I been getting internet?" She goes, "Well, there's a flaw in the system where we have a bleed, so you have internet." And I said, "So I could hypothetically not pay and have internet?" She goes, "Yeah, but it'd be very slow."
Right.
How is that a flaw in a system?
It's amazing. It's amazing. And you don't, like everything else in this world, you really don't get the attention unless you squeak a little bit.
Yeah, you have to talk.
And so
you were
have
a little
to do it.
squeaky this morning.
I just because you know what? To a certain extent, my heart goes out to the low-level employees
not
that
their
are
fault.
on the phone because they're going to with 42-minute waits.
They didn't make the
everybody that they talk to is going to be in a bad mood when they
right.
get to them because they are so vastly understaffed. And all you see when you turn on television, commercial television, all you see are these companies advertising.
Yeah, radio.
Constant, how great they are, how great they are. Well,
Fastest.
just cut a little of that out, give some of it to a podcast, and and then just deal with customer service.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say about that.
I agree.
We'll see what happens.
I did
so
like
far,
today you had
knock
her
on wood.
when you were on speakerphone.
Yes.
And you called out an F-bomb to one of us.
Yeah.
I forget who was
Yeah,
the
the lady on the
recipient.
phone thought I was talking to her.
And then
no.
then it got deathly quiet. You said, "Not you, ma'am."
It wasn't you. I wanted to really touch on this story. Is going to be off the front page probably by the end of the week, so I wanted to cover it on this show. Is the 3 missing girls that were recovered in Cleveland, Ohio. And I feel the same way now after all of these relatives have been interviewed as I did with the Zarnaev brothers. And I want to say something that's kind of old-fashioned. I really feel like a lot of these issues with some of these horrible, despicable human beings can be traced to what appears to be a total disintegration of their families.
Could be.
And I think that is a cause for a lot of this stuff. You see the mother who was estranged from the daughter who was kidnapped. Then you see the uncle who barely spoke to the brother. And you see this.
Very telling what we saw this morning on the news, and I agree with you, and I'm glad you stated it. It's what I heard that really bothered me is one of them, and I think it was Amanda Berry's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking
who assumed that it wasn't a kidnapping, that she probably just left
Horribly sad. Horribly sad.
Because she thought our relationship was at the point where a 16-year-old would just leave.
And that's okay.
And so she kind of just let it go. If I'm ever to that point with anyone in my family where I am so disinterested, and I'm just not even talking about my direct family, I'm talking about extended family.
But you know,
that if they can just disappear, then you've screwed up.
Forget the extended. Yeah, extended family's gone. I mean, really, in most situations. Let's deal with the direct family. Even that, you get into. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my computer going nuts here. You get into that situation where you really just look at these families where the mother was she was sort of disinterested.
Yeah, but we weren't getting along.
But I mean, then you look at the family of the Tsarnaev brothers, where the father's thousands of miles away, and you see this, and
what's wrong with that?
I hate to go with and you can speak to it a little bit.
Present company excluded.
But you and your siblings.
Yeah, we're very
probably
close.
through a great deal of effort on your parts, have kept that together.
Yeah,
my mom is responsible for that. My father, God bless his soul, he's completely worked his entire life. That's all he does. He works.
About work,
right?
But my mom made sure that we were close.
Someone
has to do it,
right?
We have everybody in this room. We have one thing in common. We have one thing in common.
Awesomeness.
We all have taken care of our immediate families. We have all cared about our fathers. We have all cared about our mothers. We have all done that. And I think that in times of difficulty, that gives us all strength. And I think when you see the disintegration, and not necessarily the poor girls that were kidnapped, but you see this brother that doesn't have a relationship at all, that he can even speak with any emotion about his evil brother and these horrible things he did.
Right.
If you have that, you can make a joke about the movie we always pick on, Avalon.
Right.
The
You Cut the Turkey.
Barry Levinson film.
Yeah.
That's
takes
place.
His Baltimore trilogy.
And it's really the Baltimore movie about the disintegration of the American family and how, you're moving out to the suburbs, you don't come to see us anymore. And, to a certain extent, I've lived a big empty part of that in my life where not being up in New England, not being close to my family, I felt disconnected, and I know my daughters have been disconnected from that. And I'm not as connected to my daughters as I am because it's a broken home situation. All these things make for trouble spots. Not that everybody's got to be, 3 kids, the backyard, and
Flanders. Nobody can do that.
But it sure seemed to me like maybe when we did have the stronger family unit in America.
The world
and what? I'm making an argument for a lot of people that, unfortunately, the only people that seem to talk about this publicly are the people that want to wave the Republican flag and the gun banners and all that. Where I think it's completely legitimate to strengthen the American
family. It's not
a
political issue. It's not a gun issue. It's a.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the family structure. It has to do with caring and being interested in
family
your family and your fellow man.
Right. And Oscar is an example. If his father spent, months 2,000 miles away, it didn't weaken their family.
Because he had a strong mother.
Yeah. Because they made the effort
strong
to keep
mother
the
with a
family
strong right hand. With what did she hit you
Pedro
with?
Moreno.
Pedro Moreno.
The belt. The thick leather belt.
That is the belt.
But
did you see the similarities between the myriad of different relatives that came into the picture that are being interviewed, and they all seem like, we didn't know. We didn't know what was
you got to know. You've got to know.
Did you hear the McDonald's is reaching out to the hero, the neighbor?
Oh, good.
The guy, and I don't know what they're going to give that
but
guy.
Sadly, it's a Bolivian McDonald's.
They said that there was a reward for these girls. He said, take the reward and give it to the girls.
Yes.
This guy, and another point about that, okay.
What's his name? Can somebody pull up his name?
His name is Charles Ramsey.
Charles Ramsey is the guy's name.
We have more of him in the vault today.
And, I look over, and everybody, all the white people in the world are going to cover their mouths and smirk a little bit when you hear this guy talk because he's got the the certain way of speaking that we associate with the African American people, and everybody likes to do that. At the bottom line is this is a hero, and you don't have to be
more than
you don't have to be wearing the uniform and have all the teeth in your head to be a hero.
He's got a heart.
The comment that this guy made when they talked about a reward for the girl, he said, "Give it to the women that were abducted. Don't give it to me. I get a paycheck."
Yeah, I've got a job.
And it doesn't matter. You look at this guy, you can look at him and see
hardworking.
His situation is probably a lot rougher than many people, but he's got a great heart.
Yep.
And this is one time where, look, you throw that out the window. There are many good parts of this story. The one that's still up in the air for me, you've seen the police come out now and say there is no indication that any of these police calls were based on people that had seen these women.
No, they had nothing to do with it.
So when the cops come out and say that, first of all, was that the police chief of Cleveland that was, there was some guy that looked a little shaky when he was up there.
Yeah, I think that was him. Yeah, the police chief.
So I think the jury's still out on
more about that in the news.
Yeah, as to whether you got something on that, because they're saying now, we didn't get any calls about it.
Yeah, well, the neighbors have a different story.
Yeah, so that's always the big inner city battle that you get when you get a situation like that. But I'm glad they're recovered. And the final element of today's show that I wanted to talk about was Rob Spiewak.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
There is a group on Facebook of 293 strong that are rallying now they have their own page.
I saw this begin.
For Elect Rob as a replacement for Jerry Lewis on the telephone.
Oh, I'm in.
Of course you are.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Of course you
now.
are.
Why not?
Elect Rob Spiewak is the replacement for Jerry Lewis. There's the page right there.
Oh my God!
All right, Jerry.
I'd say I'm your guy.
You really didn't know about this?
You know what? Is it old?
Did you start
It's been around for a while. Yeah.
If it's old, maybe, but I haven't seen it in months.
I think he started it.
I did not start it.
Jerry Morris writes, Rob could turn the telethon around.
Yes,
I
he could.
I truly could. Mike.
We all believe that. We all know that.
And then Doug Meyer just has a picture of this massive African American woman.
Why is that?
That's
not helping.
That's your people, Rob. It's all your people.
She's going to do the tote board.
I don't need a co-host.
She's your Ed McMahon.
Mark Ronick added John Mraz to the group. Mark, do you have your little beaters in this thing?
I know, someone made me an admin of that page, and now I get all these requests to be a part
Oh my
of the
God,
page.
this has been going along. This has been around for a while.
I've been following these
Kathy
for a while.
Pfeiffer writes, my suggestion, in support of Mike O'Mara's announcement that he just lost his job at The Edge.
Wow.
That's the third one I got. Posted on September 18th, 2011.
Wow.
Rob, you have not acknowledged your peeps.
You know what? If elected, I shall truly serve you well. But I'm not taking a back seat to Tom Bergeron.
I don't know what hurts more, the fact that you just discovered it, or there's only 284 people on that thing.
You laugh, though, Oscar. Only 270 people watch the telethon.
And it's not even Memorial Day yet.
Labor Day.
We've got the whole summer to go.
We can
I
make
know
it
it's
happen.
not even more. I know it's Labor Day, the telethon.
Easy.
But so I
know you had a day, but easy.
I'm trying to promote it for you.
I
but
can't
you
wait
know
to
what?
help you.
I'm out.
Yeah.
We'll take a break.
Yeah, don't vote for Rob.
It's done. Forget it.
Yeah, it hurts me
That'll be the
badly.
last I talk
Actually,
about
leave
it.
that page.
Yeah, we got to take a break. Come back with Jerry and his audio vault right after this on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Rob, turn that down! God damn it, Rob! I don't want to have to come up there. I swear to God, I don't want to have to come up there. Turn that music down! Rob, what are you doing? I want to love someone. Turn that crap down!
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara
Mike
Show.
O'Mara was my father.
Brought to you by RC Kitchens.
Yeah.
Your kitchen may be the most important room in your home. Now, you can have hand-built, all wood, top-quality cabinets for about the same price as the mass-produced brands. Contact our good friend Rory Callahan at RC Kitchens and get Mercedes quality at Yugo prices. Estimates from RC Kitchens. A Yugo's a car back in the 80s, don't you?
That's right. Beautiful car.
Estimates from RC Kitchens are guaranteed accurate, and the timetable is always honest and realistic. Rory is a good guy, and he cares, and he likes talking to customers, and he likes doing exactly what they want. They can do a lot in one day, including storage for books and toys, home offices, even built-ins for your television, your entryway storage, even build in your TV.
Nice.
Ooh.
Even built-ins. Is it a build-in? Even they can build in your TV.
Or make it a built-in.
They can
Either
make
way.
a built-in.
You can make it a built-in. Entryway storage, and yes, even mud rooms.
Nice.
From D.C. to Delmarva, RC Kitchens takes the frustration out of remodeling. Even outside the D.C. area, RC Kitchens might still be able to help you do what more and more TMOS listeners are doing.
Yeah.
Contract Rory Callahan and his crew today. Here's the number, and he's a local advertiser. I always like to support them. 301-537-3515. That's 301-537-3515 or at rckitchens.com. And thank you to Rory and his wife and the Callahan family and everybody that makes RC Kitchens go. We appreciate that. Let's open up the audio vault for today, Wednesday, May 8th.
Per Buzz's question,
yes,
Slade also recorded Shapes of Things to Come.
And Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Yeah, a lot of people have, but that was the biggest hit. When Max Frost and the Troopers, a mythical band. A studio
fictional band.
Yeah, so that's what we found out. Mike,
come
back, please. Won't you please
absolutely.
come back? We talked about Charles Ramsey, and he is the guy who is the hero from the Cleveland kidnappings.
Yeah,
and
two tragedies in one life. Being right next to that and then losing that little girl.
Yeah.
No, it's a different Ramsey.
Oh, sorry.
You might do your research.
Never mind.
Did you hear his 911 call?
I did not.
I like this. Is actually yesterday we had him interviewing
maybe a little piece of it. I've heard. I haven't heard the whole thing.
Love the way he handles it, and also the fact that he was pissed at the way 911 handled it.
More about that.
Oh, good. I'll let you handle it. But first, let's hear the call.
Yeah, hey, bro. Hey, check this out. I just came from McDonald's, right? So I'm on my porch eating my little food, right? This broad is trying to work out the house next door to me. So there's a bunch of people on the street right now. So we like, well, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? She like, this been kidnapped me and my daughter, and we've been in this. She said her name is Linda Berry or some. I don't know who the that is. I just moved over here, bro.
Sir,
you know what I mean?
Sir, you have to calm down and slow down. Is she still in the street?
Yeah, I'm looking at her. She right now. She calling y'all. She on another phone.
Are the people she said that did this, do you know if they still in the house?
I don't have a clue, bro. I just said I from McDonald's.
Can you ask her if she needs an ambulance?
She needs everything. She's in a panic, bro. I guess she's been kidnapped, so, put yourself in her shoes.
We'll send the police out. Thank you.
There you go.
And then he hangs up.
Yeah.
It's funny when the dispatchers say calm down, and unfortunately, it's tough to calm down when you're in a situation like that.
When Charles Ramsey was on Anderson Cooper and asked about how he felt that the 911 handler did with that call, he quoted something else he said. He said,
Amanda Berry, that don't ring no damn bells, you being a cop and all?
Amanda Berry, that don't ring no damn bells.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm really lucky that he was
really,
there.
A 10-year disappearance, it's not for a dispatcher. They're not going to remember it.
Right.
The dispatcher won't.
And so, they do what they can, and I think they follow procedure and try to get people out there as soon as they can.
Stand by with the explosion.
They should more often than not.
It took, 36 hours, and everyone started asking about it yesterday. The Gregory brothers, who auto-tune everything, have made the Mr. Ramsey auto-tune record.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran to a black man's arms. Dead giveaway.
It's called Dead Giveaway.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
My neighbor got big testicles because we see this dude every day. We eat ribs with this dude, but we didn't have a clue that that girl was in that house. She said, please help me get out. Dead giveaway, dead giveaway, dead giveaway, dead giveaway, dead giveaway.
It's a good one.
Maybe a little too soon.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I think might have been not soon enough.
It's just, that's how some people process the, whatever.
I guess.
I have no idea why this next tape happened, but it's a guy, I believe the listener is named Bill Barris, and he said...
Sounds like a game show host.
He said back in March, in Bolivia, I think he said it was in La Paz, Oscar fell off a stage.
Yeah, I heard this yesterday. This is pretty good.
And I don't know why, what prompted this. I don't know.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high, take a look.
Oh, no.
It's the perfect time to do it.
He never finished the song.
It's the perfect time in the song.
bit.
Can you play it one more time?
I can.
I like it over our show more than I liked it on the internet.
The good thing is that no injuries were sustained.
Butterfly in... Pretty damn good.
Hey, Rob.
Mike?
I need some more.
Here's my beautiful sister.
What the hell happened?
I hit the wrong
Operator error.
Operator error.
Jesus
My apologies.
Christ.
It got scary quiet.
I need more farts.
You need more farts?
Yeah, I need.
Anyone who's done a road trip with you might disagree.
They're completely burned out, and I'd like to update their. We need. We just need two. We just need.
I
two.
have a bunch. I'll send over to Rob.
All right, very good. We just need tomorrow. Brand new
Made of
fart
yourself.
songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do anything for food.
Thank you very much.
And my apologies about that operator error.
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah, I did not expect that
What
at all.
exactly happened? Did your copy sort of like lean on your fader?
No, it's his
Far
big
from
thumbs.
it. No, it's far
He's
from
out
it.
of sorts because he doesn't have his iPad, so everything is.
I am having to run off the CD player today, which is
Gotcha. Okay.
But the sends, I pulled down the send instead of the level on the.
What is the send? What sort of thing is that?
The send is what routes the audio to our microphone chains to the broadcast.
Oh, now our listeners will understand.
Yeah, well,
Even if we don't.
yeah.
Yeah, that was more compelling than the band you played.
Everybody's picking on Rob. Rob, do you have a kick me sign? I'm the one. I'm not picking on you today. I was.
No,
just
you're not.
I'm just the guy that lost his microphone.
That's right. Well, no, we all lost everything.
Oh, okay.
You were just talking at the time.
That was
timing
scary,
was unfortunate.
yeah.
You see,
it doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't.
Okay. God,
stop it, you.
You stop it. They had to reopen Michael Jackson's autopsy. Yeah. Because of the lawsuit against him.
Okay.
And I forgot just all the weird things that went on, but there's stuff that was mentioned in the autopsy I didn't even know about.
The family of the late Michael Jackson is suing the concert promoter that was working with him back in 2009 when he died of an overdose of an anesthetic. And today the jury in the case got details of the official autopsy report. It confirmed that Jackson did indeed suffer from a skin condition that led to uneven pigmentation, that he had his eyebrows and hairline tattooed on, that his lips had been tattooed pink. He weighed just under 136 pounds, but the medical examiner said Jackson didn't have other underlying health conditions that would have prevented him from living a normal lifespan.
I wish I had thought to tattoo my hairline.
And today, posthumously, a new molestation lawsuit against Michael Jackson.
From a guy who had already said that he hadn't been molested,
Right.
but he's recanting his stuff.
So what, are they going after the estate? Is that what
He
they're
wants
here
money.
about?
They all want money.
That likes credibility.
And we closed with a few tapes of Governor Christie, Mike. I called this.
You did, Rob. You get complete credit for this. Rob called this a year ago. Rob said this guy is going to lose a ton of weight, and he's going to walk in to the nomination for the Republican Party. If the Republican Party doesn't go completely whack job on him, because they hate him now because of what he did.
He could rise above the Republican
He
Party.
could be an independent candidate, I think. But he's still got some very right-wing policies for people on the left side of the aisle.
Yeah. 6 months ago, he couldn't run 50 yards. 6 months from now, he's going to run for president.
There we go.
What he did the lap band surgery, which is not actually gastric bypass.
Right.
But he explained why he did it.
Last fall, I was turning 50. And it really was a moment of reflection for me. And so I really just felt like for Mary Pat and for the kids that I needed to take a more significant step to try to get my weight under control so that I could have a really active next half of my life. I said, well, do I really think I need this? And he said to me, if you came in here with cancer and I told you that I had a 40-minute surgery that give you a 90% chance of cure, would you sign up? And it just really crystallized it for me. And I said, yeah, I would. And he said, well, then why wouldn't you do that to cure obesity?
What's amazing is I believe he's lost 40 pounds already, and I saw some tape of him, and it's not showing yet.
No, it isn't showing
and
yet.
I feel bad for the guy because I've lost a lot of weight too, but 40 pounds, you should really be showing after 40.
Well, I think it's working. He was with some school kids this week, and the kids were frightened. This is a true story. When they saw a spider, and on their behalf to protect the kids, to save the kids, Governor Christie killed the spider, but he didn't eat it.
That's good.
Was that
a true story?
No,
okay,
absolutely.
Was that a joke the whole time? I wasn't quite sure what you were doing.
It's a true story that has a funny ending.
Okay.
Let's call it that.
Because you use that Letterman hands.
Right.
When you use your Letterman hands, I know I usually anticipate a joke coming.
I think that it's great that he's getting the surgery, but I don't want to mix the message that it's surgery.
It is surgery.
It's not just it's not as simple as he perceives or he's told. He's explaining his thought process of getting that surgery because you're opening up the body. You're going
Always
underneath
risky.
some sort of anesthetic.
Right.
Anything is possible, and I think we've proven here on the show you don't have to have surgery to lose weight.
It is, it is the choice of certain Americans. And
it's
I'm
a
not
drastic measure, and he needed a drastic measure.
And I'm not sure if the 90% is necessarily all that accurate. He said that. I'm not sure that's what it is. I
wonder too.
The idea of having the surgery and then not having it work would be great. I know people that it's worked for. I know people that it hasn't worked for.
I'm glad he tried it.
Yeah, good for him.
One thing that was brought up, do you remember, and I'll close with this tape, I guess it was in February when he was on Letterman and pulled out the donut and started to eat it as a joke.
Right.
That was actually the week before he had the surgery. He called that moment his last hurrah as a fat guy.
Oh, okay. That's
but, Letterman has probably been the most merciless about his weight, and this is a Letterman attacking him or addressing the topic last night.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Oh, did you hear about this? He had the stomach surgery so he won't be so big. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
What year is this? But his family gave him the choice. They said, look, you either have that surgery or get your own zip code. And the governor is now saying that his decision has nothing to do with 2016, which, by the way, is his cholesterol.
And that is your Magic Audio Vault. We'll take a break, come back with Buzz and News right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Let's get right to it. He's been telling jokes. He's been giving his opinions, and now he's going to give us the news. Here's Buzz Burbank. Take it away, Buzz.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Those are the folks who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 WTNT. Even if you already have life insurance, you might be paying too much. Encore may be able to help. For a free quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They compare the rates to help you save. License and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know you appreciate them as we do. Encore Insurance Services at smartterm.com. Officials in Cleveland face a lot of questions about how they have handled this bizarre kidnapping case involving 3 women. Neighbors, lots of neighbors, say they reported odd behavior from that house many times. One woman even reporting that she saw a naked woman crawling in the backyard. She says police never responded to that. Police did go to the house twice, as we mentioned yesterday, but never went inside. And the 911 dispatcher on duty, or dispatchers, plural, on duty the day the women were rescued, they're being probed for not staying on the line with the kidnapped woman, as is typical procedure,
Right.
and for not taking seriously the call from the man who rescued her.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's,
so
it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
into.
I don't know. I mean, the police are very quick in coming out and saying we did not get specific calls reporting this type of behavior. But, when you meet with officers, I think a lot of this has to do with the initial call and then what they're saying to the street cops when they're there. And also the way, let's be honest, the way certain calls are handled in certain neighborhoods.
Right,
I
exactly.
think that's pretty obvious.
That's key. Is the U.S. going to war again? President Obama is trying to avoid it, but he says the U.S. has a moral obligation and a national security interest in stopping the bloodshed in Syria. The Army's chief of staff, meanwhile, says his troops are ready, and he says the longer we wait, the less ready we'll be. The funeral director for dead Boston bombing suspect Tamerlan Tsarnaev says Tamerlan's mother wants the body sent back to Russia, a move that has to be cleared by the State Department. In the meantime, quoting the funeral director, I have refrigeration. I can hold him for a long time.
Yuck.
Wow. I'm sorry, Buzz. I'm drifting off for a second here. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4,
What are you
5.
counting?
I'm counting the calls that I'm going to be making today.
Oh,
that'll be good.
It's already lining up.
Yippa.
That'll be fun.
Pretty much set that up.
Hey,
that's one page.
You know what'd be fun?
Oh, boy.
How about someone get character voices?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Rob. Yeah. Okay. Rob, shut up, both of you.
Only for certain donation amounts.
That's
the
right.
second page.
Dick Queasy.
Wow.
Yeah.
The young man.
That'll be fun.
I said I'd do it.
Yeah.
Good man.
You sure did. Yeah, I did.
The young man accused of that Aurora, Colorado movie theater massacre is pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. This puts the burden on prosecutors to prove that he was sane when James Holmes allegedly killed a dozen people and wounded 70 others and may likely slow down the proceedings. One of the lawmakers behind that failed background checks bill says he still thinks the Senate can pass the plan favored by 90% of Americans. West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin is rewording the amendment now to make it less unnerving to gun owners.
Oh, screw it.
And I don't like his name.
And to argue that it actually expands their Second Amendment rights.
You know what? Look, the whole culture thing. There's a guy that's online. I'd like to give everybody a little hip on. Buzz, you're a friend of his. I'm a friend of his. Bob Seska.
Yes.
This guy. Yeah. Bob Seska doesn't pull any punches with the gun lobby. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Seska has a wonderful piece in is it the Daily Rant? Is that or is I think something a Daily Band. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's Bob Seska.
Right.
BOBCESKA. Look him up. You can read his stuff, and he talks about the things they had out there at the NRA convention. One was the exotic hunting booth where you can go kill rhinos and things like that. Some of these animals that are actually very close to becoming endangered. The other one is the target of a three-dimensional target of what's called the X, where you can shoot the target and it bleeds from the mouth.
Oh, that's nice.
It's just
that's fun for the kids.
It's just our culture. We legitimize things in this country that are funny to me, and then of course there was the Obama one that got all the press. But I think we do. I think we cater to this gun lobby. We legitimize this gun lobby, and it's never going to change. I hate to be fatalistic about it, but I feel that.
And
way.
if Bob Seska is listening, Bob, would it kill you to smile?
Yeah,
you live in Hawaii.
I like Bob. Bob,
crack a smile.
For those of us on the left side of the aisle, a Bob Seska article is joy to read. Thank you.
Senate Democrats are worried about Michael Bloomberg's gun control ad campaign that targets pro-gun Democrats as well as Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has reportedly told Bloomberg that his campaign might cause Democrats to lose control of the Senate next election.
Well,
day.
Harry Reid's a hump as far as the gun lobby is
High-profile nutjob Glenn Beck is now the target of Jewish groups after he showed a graphic of Mayor Bloomberg wearing an armband and giving a Nazi salute.
Hey, this is Eric Ronick from Black Gold.
He was not happy.
No, very displeased.
And in Los Angeles, a man's been arrested for turning in a homemade pipe bomb during a gun buyback event. The man said he didn't need the bomb anymore. He had abandoned his plans to blow up the Hollywood sign.
Well, I think that's nice.
Delaware is now the 11th state to legalize gay marriage. A majority of states, meanwhile, have laws against it, especially in the South. The head of the Illinois Republican Party, though, has resigned his post after supporting a gay marriage proposal in his state. Pat Brady says his party's losing support because it comes off as mean-spirited, angry, and dogmatic. Finally, from the Home Office in Florida.
Here we go.
Police in Highland Beach pulled over a red Mitsubishi. Used to have a red Mitsubishi.
I did. I had a Mitsubishi Cordia.
Well, I don't know the model, but they pulled over a red Mitsubishi in Highland Beach for speeding. The cops found no one in the car.
What?
And
it's Florida.
When they searched the area for the driver, they were out in the grass looking for the driver. The car took off again and resumed speeding. And so when they stopped the car a second time, once again, there was no driver behind the wheel. But that time they did find the driver, hiding in the trunk. Florida. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know what? I wish we had started the show with that story. I love it.
Kind of leaves you with good taste in your mouth.
It does, yeah.
That's it. We got to get out of here. Our show today was brought to you by our Amazon page. This is the time of year. Really helps our show if you do your Mom's Day shopping at Amazon and you do it through MikeO'MaraShow.com. Bookmark the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. That is the numero uno way to help the show. We appreciate that. Tomorrow, a new pick to click for all you foodies out there.
Love food.
Something Governor Christie should probably stay away from.
At least small portions.
But a recommendation for you. And also, we'll have the 5 worst things about being pregnant. We didn't get that today. We'll get it tomorrow, everybody. Have a great day. We'll be back with another show tomorrow. And bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.